Okay, my name is Professor Jason Leggett, and I will be doing a brief lightning talk about my journey into trying to develop a assignment that would work in the classroom to develop something that we might think about as a non-disposable assignment that'd be useful to the public community on a social justice issue in my criminal justice class. So my approach to open education has been focused on creating a process where we can co-construct knowledge for our purpose of sharing it publicly, so it's got some use out in the community, and less on replacing the content just for economic purposes, something like an OER textbook. So what I've been mostly focused on is an approach that allows students to participate based on their skills and what they're interested in, develops them in a situation where they're going to co-collaborate with each other and contribute to a topic that they care about or something that we're working on together throughout the semester to meet our learning outcomes. I also create structured learning opportunities scaffolded through the semester that first introduces the project, lets us discuss the norms and roles of how we're going to be going about research, putting the project together and sharing it, as well as thinking about division of labor. Who's good at what would you like to do, what are you more interested in developing skills in. It also allows for some time to conduct preliminary research on topics, let them present that, talk to each other, see what we need to do to get it more fine-tuned, and then to engender a discussion where we reflect on what we've been doing in small groups, and then we build up into a class dialogue and representatives that can go work from group to group. I've tried a bunch of previous assignments that are non-disposable, ranging from the class dialogue to a video game to photo essays to poetry, on campus and off campus service activities, and community partners research. So I wanted to try to now get something that's a little bit tied closer to the learning outcomes and something that would be similar to what students would be working on in the field. But there's a big gap between the knowledge that students have and what they need to be able to the skills, especially to do the legal processes and the works of the lawyers, which are complicated tasks. But also that's been found in first year law school programs is that it's the existing knowledge that students have about the legal system, the misconceptions they have about it, that kind of get in the way of learning the processes and the skills necessary to complete the task. So I thought maybe one way to approach this would be a public-facing document that we can co-construct together that would kind of start to get at some of the myths and help them see the contradictions in some of their own thinking, at the same time teaching them the skill set that they need to produce the document. So an amicus brief is a friend of the court. It's something that is usually done by non-for-profits, in this case Common Cause from Missouri. And it's giving, in addition to the legal arguments, it's also giving academic and scientific reasons for why a review policy should be in effect for the courts, why they should consider a certain reform or critical change. And so it's an interesting kind of halfway between the public and the courtroom. So I'm at the phase now where I'm just going to see what happens. Let's see what do students do with this. So you're looking at Hypothesis on Blackboard, which is social annotation software that allows me to see what questions students have, what comments do they have, how are they feeling about the assignment, what do they like, what don't they like. And so I'm kind of at the collection of data at this point just to see what are students doing. This is an example one so that they know what they're going to be working on. It also shows them kind of the different areas they need to research. Then we'll see what worked, and then we'll see what I need to do to move forward. At the end of the semester, I'll ask them what they thought about it, how they'd like to improve. Does it seem like it'd be useful to work in the community with? And then if all goes well, then I'll start to look for community partners, and we can start to see how we might co-research to develop a series of amicus briefs or have some kind of ongoing relationship. At this point in the semester, we're just kind of sharing the information, sharing a preliminary research, and then they're going to start working in groups and going over the document next week. So I'll be interested in to see how do they develop the skills, and in what way does this challenge their prior knowledge, and then how does that relate to the research we've done so far. But this has been my attempt to take something that, the typical multiple choice or essay assignment and replace it with something that we might be able to have community engagement and something that might be an effective way of teaching the learning outcomes as well. So thank you for attending my lightning talk.